So, quick update on the porch light situation. You remember Blinky Guy, possibly named Gary, statistically does not exist. Anyway, I wasn't even going to stop tonight. I was tired, I had leftovers waiting, I was, for once, choosing peace. And then the light did this thing. Too short pause, one long. That's hi. The light said hi to me. Obviously, I did not go inside and eat my leftovers like a reasonable adult. I went home and fell into Morse code. Okay, first question. Why does this exist? Who decided dots and dashes was a language? So before all this, if you wanted to send a message far away, someone had to physically carry it there. Days, weeks, sometimes literally months, depending how far. Imagine waiting 2 months for a reply to a text that just says you up. In the early 1830s, a guy named Samuel Morse was on a ship, sailing back to the US from Europe. And on that ship, people were talking about this new idea, electromagnetism, sending signals down a wire instantly. And Morse, guy's not even a scientist, by the way. He's a painter, a professional portrait painter. Hears this conversation and just decides, cool, I'm building a telegraph now. Which is the most I watched one video, and now I'm an expert energy a human has ever had. And it worked. That's the annoying part. So between 1832 and 1837, Morse is in his workshop, basically duct taping the future together. Homemade battery. Old clock gears. A device that, and I want to be clear, this is real, drew a wiggly line on paper that you then had to decode using a dictionary he made up himself. Step 1 of instant global communication was apparently good luck reading this. He didn't do this alone, though. Leonard Gale helped him figure out how to send the signal further, like way further, from about 40 feet to over 10 miles. And Alfred Vail, this is the guy whose family owned an ironworks in New Jersey. He's the one who helped actually build it, and probably did way more of the dots and dashes work than he ever got credit for. Which, side note, happens a lot in history. One guy gets the name on the thing. A few other guys did half the actual work, kind of like how Gary the Porchlight gets zero historical credit for starting this entire rabbit hole. Anyway, moving on. Here's the actually clever part. The most common letters in English, like E, got the shortest, simplest code. One dot, the rare letters, like Q, got the longest, most annoying code. Because the more something gets used, the faster it should be to say, which is honestly a really good system. I wish more things worked like that. My group chat, for example, does not. Okay, so May 24th, 1844. This is the big one. Morse sets up a wire between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, 40 whole miles, and sends the first official long-distance telegraph message in American history. The whole country's about to hear its first real-time message ever sent across a wire. No pressure. What do you say? What hath God wrought? A Bible quote, picked out by the commissioner of patent's daughter, by the way, not Morse himself. If I invented the telegraph, my first message would have been something deeply unworthy of the moment. Hey, is this thing on? That's it. That's the legacy. Okay, this next part actually got to me a little, not gonna lie. In 1906, the world agreed on one specific Morse pattern for I'm in serious trouble, send help. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short, SOS. They picked it because it's basically impossible to mistake for anything else, even through static. And the most famous time anyone ever sent it was the Titanic. April 1912. The wireless operator on board sent SOS over and over into the dark, hoping someone close enough would hear it. And someone did. A ship called the Carpathia picked it up and got there in time to save over 700 people. Which is a weird thing to sit with. The exact same pattern of dots and dashes that I've just been making jokes about for 5 minutes is also somewhere in history the reason hundreds of people got to go home. Anyway, it's not all that heavy, I promise. Let's lighten back up both world wars, by the way. Morse code was everywhere. Ship to shore, plane to base. Secret coded messages tapped out by hand because it could travel further and survive worse conditions than just talking over radio. Low power, terrible weather, awful connection, Morse code just shrugs and gets through. Anyway, it's the cockroach of communication technology. Complementary cockroach, the good kind. And then slowly it just stopped being necessary. Phones got good, then computers got good. The US sent its last official commercial Morse message in 1999, and they ended it by tapping out Morse's exact original message from 1844 one more time as a sign-off. Which is, okay, that's actually a really clean way to end a 150-year run. I respect that. So, several hours later, I now know more about 19th century communication technology than several adults should. And the actual mystery, the porch light, still unsolved, still just a regular porch light, probably with a loose wire that has accidentally, statistically, eventually going to blink something that looks like a word. It's the infinite monkey theorem, but it's a light bulb, and the typewriter is my emotional stability. Hi to you too, man. So that's today. A blinking light said hi to me. And instead of saying hi back like a normal person, I accidentally learned the entire history of long distance communication. Next time, the bus stop guy who's never once looked at his phone, I told you about him. I have not stopped thinking about him. If you want to come along for that one too, hit subscribe, mostly so somebody else also knows more about 1830s telegraph drama than they ever asked to. Anyway, hi.